Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's number one mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello.
Recording this afternoon, Saturday, June 15th. I'm still a little sick. Got my orange juice for those of you on YouTube. The game last night did not help. I think since we last spoke, Uh, Celtics have gone to Dallas and split a pair of very different games. Very different games indeed. So let's start with game three. The good stuff, the good game to talk about. Celtics win 106-99. Mom, what do you got? Anything jump out to you that you remember from game three?
I think that it really boiled down to wearing Luca out at the end, right? I think that he played well, I think for the first, second, and third quarter, Kyrie still was decent, but not great.
Mhm.
But I think Luca was exhausted by the fourth quarter. It showed, and there went their scoring, right? Because he's
Yeah.
really their only, and it was a close game. I mean, at no point during that game did I feel like we were going to blow them out.
Well,
Um,
really? You're up 21.
uh,
We give you the fourth.
well,
I
at
thought it was
that
a
point,
wrap at
okay,
that
yes,
point.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes, because third quarter they came back, but I'm
We're
saying
up
near the
what?
end,
Yeah,
I think,
16 at
yeah,
the fourth, and then
yeah,
21 to
yeah,
start. We had two quick threes in the start of the fourth. I was
yeah,
like, they're gonna
yeah.
fold quick, and that did not
No,
happen.
they came up, yeah. But
They went
I
on.
don't know. I think they caught up quickly. We did our usual sort of lost it there for a little while. But
Yes, I
he
mean
he yeah. Go
this
ahead.
like run out the clock whenever we're up. It
Yeah.
just boils my blood. Like, can you just play the same way that you played? Why does it
Yeah.
change when you're winning by a certain amount that you're like, let's just like beg them to come back? And they did and got it within
Mhm.
one. And thank God we
And
started making some shots
unfortunately,
again.
I think that, as much as I love Peyton Pritchard, I think that third game was where he had Luca. Every time Luca was matched up against him, Luca went up,
Correct. That's
and
he's
so it
he's
was almost
borderline
a
unplayable in Luka
swing of
situations.
10 points just with him in the game. And Jaylen Brown was on the side ready to come in. I mean, I think they saw that what was happening, and those minutes just went on. And I think that we started to get, it wasn't all his fault, but
Yeah.
I do think it was about a 10-point swing during that time when he was in there,
Yeah.
of us missing, and then, him getting scored on or out rebounded, or, it's very obvious when he's in the game. Unfortunately, this is not a good matchup for him.
No. Because
So I
Luca
think
can just
that
hunt
that
whoever he wants,
began
and
the
he's kind of the
downswing
guy.
of, yeah, that began the
Yeah.
downswing of the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, Tatum
But
also
then
just
Luca is a
looked
disaster in the
lost.
fourth. Thank God.
I
He's so
mean,
tired,
uh,
and
and just frustrated with the refs
yeah,
being such a
yeah,
baby.
yeah. And
And I
if
mean, the worst foul he possibly could have committed to go for the charge in the open
yeah,
floor in that situation was the dumbest
yeah,
thing he could have
yeah,
done. It's like you
yeah,
just let Jalen score, really. You don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
like you
yeah,
have to understand that you're their only chance. As soon as he
yeah,
was out and we get
yeah,
two free throws for that play, I was like, oh, this is over.
yeah,
They had no chance if he wasn't in the
yeah,
game, and he has to understand that. I mean, what is he doing? He was just
yeah.
so in his head and so frustrated, and
Yeah, no, I think
uh,
he kind of blew
yeah,
that
it was
whole sort of catching up.
so. Yeah, they were right in it. It was what, like a
Yeah,
1 or 3 point game at that point, and
yeah,
he takes
yeah.
the dumbest foul of all
But
time
he's
that he didn't
to the
need to
point
commit.
where he's exhausted. He is absolutely exhausted. There was one play where Jalen ended up fouling him, but his head is literally, as he's dribbling, in Jaylen Brown's stomach. And he's pushing himself in. He's bent over in half and pushing. He did it a couple times where he's just so tired. He can
Yep.
barely move. And then you're right. He tries to take a charge and he's exhausted. It's not even like a pretty try or a good attempt.
But you can't even try in that situation.
Yeah.
You
You
can't
have
leave
five
it up
fouls.
to the
Yeah.
refs whether you're going to
Agree.
play the last 4 minutes of the game. I mean,
Agree.
and it might not have
Yeah.
mattered because we might have just hunted him the next 5 possessions anyway and tried
Mm-hmm.
to get him out of the game. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He just didn't play it very well.
yeah,
He was not smart at that point.
yeah, he was just. I think it was
Yeah.
more than tired, just frustration with the refs. He was all in his
Yeah.
head and just
Yeah.
was just I don't know
He
out of it.
makes He makes old Tatum yelling at the refs look like nothing. He just
I know,
screams and
I know. I
complains
mean, the other thing
all
is
the time.
If Tatum did half of what he did like
Oh,
be like
agree.
ejected in the first quarter. It's like I don't
Yeah.
understand why some of these guys get so much leeway and other like our guys like say anything and they get a
Yeah.
technical. It's crazy.
Well, you wonder if his accent's a little thicker and they can't
Yeah,
understand what he's
exactly. It's
saying.
not
It's
as
not quite as clear sometimes
or
as it
sometimes
is
you
with
just have
Tatum.
the accent. It doesn't hit you the same when they're not native
Yeah.
speakers. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
But I mean,
yeah, I
he
don't
talks to
know.
them all the time. Like I've never seen
But
anything
other
like him.
players
Like,
too, like obviously Draymond's the biggest culprit of that, but they're just
yeah.
guys that they let get away with it. And Tatum will
Yeah.
just like wave his hands in the air and it's like a technical. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that was actually a disappointing game. I guess I was thinking more of the second game when I said it didn't seem like we were that far ahead, but you're right. It was a big lead that we just let dwindle in the
yeah, we
game.
just sat there
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, that was
couldn't hit a
painful. I do
shot.
remember.
And
Yeah, because I remember I watched it with Brett and he was extremely upset, and I was kind of sitting there
oh, I was
calmly, and
losing my
he was.
mind.
Yeah, he was so upset.
Well,
And I
well,
think
well, they go up 21 and Claudia goes to bed.
yeah, just thinking
And
it's
then
the end.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
in the bed next to her, losing my mind. I woke her up. I'm like, the Celtics are gonna blow this game. Oh,
yeah,
I was beside myself. When it got to like 5, oh my gosh,
yeah,
you just feel it creeping in.
yeah,
But no, they got it done, and Jaylen Brown hit that tough shot to really seal it. Oh,
yeah.
that like 2 point. I mean, he's been unbelievable.
Until last night.
Um, but yeah, but yeah. So let's get to last night. Why not? I mean, it's hard to say anything about this game
100% agree. It was
because you
gone.
can't.
Really, the
There's
feeling it was gone the first quarter. You
But
just
there's
had this.
nothing to
Yeah,
even criticize. It's like we rebounded terribly. We played defense terribly. We shot terribly. Our offense looks there's no positives with any player to take out of this game. It's
yeah.
like shocking. I mean, there's
And on the
no
other end, the Mavs had nothing to lose. They came in great intensity with great, and they
yes.
didn't even shoot lights out. Like their 3-point percentage for the
No.
first half was not.
I
I mean,
mean,
they made 5, and we made 5 in the first
well,
half.
Derek
3-pointers. That's
Lively
it.
hit the first 3 of his career. I mean, at
Yes.
that
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
should have known.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
God,
But
he's a
still, I mean,
Tillman
it
3
wasn't
game
like
before
they
that.
killed us in the first half with threes because we each made 5. It was
No,
really in
they've
the
scored
lane.
in the paint constantly.
There was no resistance in the paint.
No, it was
0.
brutal.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was like walk right through. Even Drew, who typically can pull it together and get some good defense, he looked terrible. His
No, he
defense
was
was terrible.
game low
Yeah,
-38 when he
yeah,
was on the
yeah,
floor.
yeah. And he can
Um,
usually string together some good defensive plays when
I think
everybody else
I
is
want to
out
say
of
it
it.
was it was JJ Redick. One of the announcers said that said like something in the something in the nature of it's human nature. You can't fake desperate, and it's like
Yeah.
that's what it was. Like they were desperate, and we did not look
Yes.
desperate. We looked
Yes.
like
3-0,
you're
you don't
sleepwalking.
feel that desperate. Exactly. You
But
walk
you
in
can't
and
have that mindset. That
I
mindset's so stupid. So
100%,
stupid. It's like,
100% agree. But I don't think you can, I don't know. It's hard
but
to
that's what he
manufacture.
was
You're
saying. You
feeling
can't
good about
psych yourself
yourselves.
into that
Yeah.
psychological.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to
Yeah.
do that to yourself. And hopefully this
Yeah.
is a wake up call.
Yes. Yeah.
The scary part for me more than anything about this game is that you woke up the role players and a lot of them played really well.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's
You hope.
like you gave them
Yeah.
confidence. Like, oh
Yeah.
my good. You can't
Yeah.
like I mean, what's his name? Dante Exum was all over the place. He was great.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
he barely played in other games. And
Wasn't it
Gafford only
Hardaway hit
Hardaway was 5 for
5 for
7 from
7
3,
at
5 for
3.
7
Yeah. He was
overall. A lot
really
of
their
some of that was in garbage
only.
time,
Yeah.
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 Because half the game was garbage time.
Yeah.
Gafford only played 10 minutes. I feel like he like dominated the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
He hit that alley oop. That was his only basket. He shot 6 free throws though. Yeah, I mean
We
they
were just a step behind in everything. We really were.
everything, everything, like 3 steps behind. A step behind is generous.
I kept saying, did we go out last night?
Yeah,
Were they out
exactly. The
partying
team was
like it's over? No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit to win the series. Did we take that seriously and go out and party before this game?
Play
Because
2 rounds of golf today.
there were times
what was
if
happening?
you go back to film and they watch it, there were times when one time Jason Tatum didn't even jump. The time when someone went up and got a rebound and he just watched him go.
Yes, it was
He
the
had
J
position.
the it was Jalen Green, the putback dunk. I know exactly what you're talking about. He was just looking. And
And
to be
he's
fair, they showed the replay and he kind of had the guy in the corner, but he was just clearly not engaged. It's like,
well, nobody jumped up for the ball. Like,
no.
isn't
And
that?
Jalen Green
And
just dunked it.
I will say, Jason Tatum is good at that. Like, he's a great rebounder.
He's a great rebounder.
His
Yeah.
long,
One of
he
his
can
most
go for it.
underrated things that he
Yeah.
does.
He
No
didn't
one gives
go
him
for
credit
it.
for
Yeah. It
leading
was
our
like,
team in rebounds constantly.
yeah. Yeah. So yes, you're right. Hopefully the role players, I mean, I'm not panicked. I'm not going to lie. Even watching
I'm
last night,
not panicked,
I
but I'm
think
a
we were
little
asleep.
worried.
I think we were asleep. I
I'm
think we were
not,
asleep.
I don't feel like I did before yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
think, unfortunately, last night was and I hate this. Porzingis is available. So if he was available, if he really was available, wouldn't
correct.
you have played him a few minutes last night?
Yes.
He's not available. Like,
Correct.
yeah,
Agreed.
he's just not
Silly.
available. Um, but I do think, unfortunately for me, that was the one game where he could have come in for 5 minutes and really made a difference. Like, just
Correct. Especially
changing
the
our
beginning,
offense
just in the
about just
lane.
change, yeah,
Not the
the
offense,
speed
more
of the game and
defense.
the
Just having a guy that can put his hands up.
rim protection. Yeah, yeah,
And why didn't
yeah.
you play Cornette? I don't understand. I
I
don't
don't know.
understand this
I don't know if
refusal to
he's, yeah,
play Luke
I agree.
Cornette.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
I agree.
Tillman, to be fair, Tillman had a good game 3, but he's not tall. He's not a
Yeah,
big guy. He's
yeah,
not going to, and I
yeah,
guess he can play the switch on Luca, which is why they like it. But
yeah,
I mean, just keep Cornette in there and don't switch. Try to force
yeah,
through it or something. Like
yeah,
I don't know. You need some length in there, especially when they have those big guys.
yeah. And they played very scrappy defense on us. I didn't
Yeah,
feel
they
like
were
in
all
the
over the
beginning
place,
there we had
diving and
that
ripping the
many
ball.
free open shots. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I do think our offense, it got better with time, but that very first possession of the game when Jason Tatum came down and it was that slow ISO kind of, I was like, oh no, please don't make this be the game. You could just tell the speed from the very beginning. I don't know. We just
Yeah.
were out of it.
Yeah. The only guy I
Um,
can give props to is Hauser.
yes.
5 for 7 overall, 4 for 6 from 3. We messed up a good Hauser game, and he's been super solid all series defensively. I mean,
Yes, I
he's
agree.
just
Yes.
I think he should play more. I mean, he's 20 minutes this game because he got a lot of the garbage time minutes, but
Yeah.
um I really like the minutes he's given us all series, and he was the only one that I really have any good things to say about in
Yeah.
this game. Oof.
And now, of course, both Kyrie and Luca have confidence as well. So it's like it's
Yeah,
gonna
but them
be
I'm not worried about. They're gonna shoot their shots and they're gonna play what they do anyway.
in the
It's the other
first
guys.
quarter.
If the other guys are scoring,
Yeah.
that's when we get in trouble. They just
But
get
that
like
wasn't until I still think in the first quarter it was Luca and Kyrie that really
a
sort of
little.
in the
I mean,
lane. They beat us so many times.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it was painful. But I
Yeah.
agree. Then the frosting, the putting us away is then everybody else came in. I'm like, wait a
Yeah.
second, that guy hasn't even scored all
I know Dante
series.
Exum can't miss a 3. I was like, what is
Like, yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
And
Where did he come
hopefully
from?
they got to come back to Boston and the
Yeah. And the scary
carriage
thing for
turns
me is
back into a pumpkin, as they
Luca was
say.
0 for 8 at 3. 0 for 8
Yeah, I
in the
know.
minutes that he played. Kyrie was 1 for 6. So they weren't even the people putting us away at the
No,
three,
no, it was
So
everybody else.
funny.
Hardaway's 5 for 7.
And
Lively
again,
hit just 1. Dante Exum 2 for 4.
yeah. But in the end, they had 15 threes and we had 14. So that wasn't even really what put us
No, it was all
away.
in the lane. It was just
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
fouled them a million
yeah,
times.
yeah. More offensive rebounds than we had.
They were a million offensive rebounds. They were just so much
Yeah,
tougher. It was brutal.
yeah. 30, no, wait. 27 to 13. What? Is that right? I think it's
Hey,
27.
the
Yeah.
other silver lining is everyone gets to say they played in the finals.
Oh no, 4. I'm sorry. 4. We had 4 offensive rebounds. They had, and we missed a lot. That's the crazy thing. 4 offensive rebounds and they had 13. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, I was
Yeah,
going to say the silver lining is everyone gets to say they played in the finals. Walsh got
Yes.
minutes. Springer,
Yep.
Geta.
Everybody, yep.
Everyone can say they did their part, even if it was when we were down 40.
Yeah, it was painful. I love the
Now we got to
headlines
go
though.
back to Boston. Hopefully,
I think they're going to get it done this game. I said 4-1.
You
I,
need
I
to. You
said
really
the
need to, because the
Mavs.
snowball
I thought the
starts to
Mavs
go
would
if you
get
don't.
one. Yeah, I thought the Mavs would get one.
Yeah, I just wished it wasn't like that.
Yeah, that was a painful game. I think that's the only way they could get it, though. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you stay close
Well, they won by
all the
40.
way, if you stay close all the way to the fourth quarter, Luca's gassed, right? He's so tired at that point. That's when you really can pull ahead, even if everybody's playing well on both teams. By the fourth quarter, Luca's gassed, and
Yep.
that's when
That's the hope.
you pull ahead. So I think they'll get it done this time. Like I said, the only worry for me is the bench, right? So Porzingis can't play. We know Pritchard's ineffective. I don't know what they're going to change about that, right? He's just not a good matchup at all.
Agreed.
For anybody at that point. They just switch to him and then pick on him. I mean, so that's not good. So who do you have coming off the bench right now? You got Sam, who's played very well, but that's it.
But he's not a big guy.
Tillman is okay.
Tillman's played.
I think you're right. Why not Cornette? Why haven't we given him a few minutes? Unless he's hurt, but just there just in case. I don't know. But
yeah, I guess he's hurt, but he played garbage time. He was the first kind of sub, him and Mihailuk, to come in. So it's not that hurt. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah. I mean, the thing I could understand is they fear that they'll just put him in the Luca pick and roll and just isolate him on Luca. And but they have the same fear with Pritchard. I mean,
I was gonna say, is that any worse than Pritchard and Luca?
Yeah,
I mean, all Luca has to do is shoot over him.
Correct. And I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
Cornette's not terrible in those situations. And I kind of like when they're trying to pick those matchups and just beat individual players, because it slows everything down. It gets no one else involved. And, he might score some, but, just keeps his usage up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Psycho Joe comes up with.
What else I had?
There's just nothing to say in the game. It's like everything was so bad. It's like there's no analysis to even put on that. Ugh.
No. And really all you can look at is, for the most part, the first half, because even the third quarter, people started to come out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we had the subs by the end of the third. It was
yeah. And I think the third quarter, Jason Tatum only played
not many.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. 8 minutes for Jaylen Brown, Al Horford 8, Derek White 8.
And they were both in foul trouble. I mean, the game was over pretty quick.
Yeah.
You just knew.
Drew, Derek White, who was 2 for 8? Threes are all he took, and he was 2 for 8. He was
brutal. Yeah.
Drew Holiday, same thing. All those layups he's been making all finals, didn't make
clank. Couldn't even hit the rim sometimes.
Yeah, it was. And I do say their defense they were much more gritty, much more, and we weren't. We were not gritty. We were lazy. We were slow. We were dumbfounded. It was bad. It was bad. So anyway, what I was saying is I think you can only really critique and look at the first half, because the second half was, the bench. We were already down. I think that's hard to look at that half. And we weren't coming back. And that's right. I think they did the right thing pulling them out, because you don't want anybody getting hurt in this game. Right? There's a slim chance you're coming back. And even if you do, what's it going to take? Your guys, grinding, exhausted, and the potential for injury. And you got 3 more chances. So why would you?
Agreed.
But the whole Porzingis thing does annoy me. Out for the season or playing. You gotta be one or the other. Available. Well, this is a game right now. If you're available, I'm thinking you might want to come in.
Yeah.
Hello.
Only emergency circumstances. Well, this is an emergency.
Seems like an emergency. Exactly. Yeah. I'm like,
Well, what's the situation where he was gonna come in?
Yeah. It's like when
0.2 seconds. We need an alley-oop. 0.2 seconds for the finals. Like what? When was he gonna play?
When was
he's available? And what was the wording though? It was like it wasn't what was the he's available for what circumstances? I'm trying to remember the let's see if I can find it.
He just stands in the middle and does nothing else. I don't know. But yeah, he's available. No, he wasn't available.
He's been activated. He was going through a pregame workout. He looks pretty good in these videos.
Well, someone said this injury requires surgery.
Yeah, it will eventually.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. It's just a matter of can he
Like-
play now without making it substantially worse?
Yeah. Maybe he's going to just be available in game 7 when it's really on the line.
Who
I don't know.
tweeted? I don't know. I can't find it. Shams or Woj available to
And
play.
this by far has to be Jaylen Brown's worst game in a long time, shooting wise.
Yes.
25%. Like I don't think I've seen a game like this from Jaylen Brown in a very, very long time. I mean, everybody, but him specifically. He's typically one of the ones that bails us out a little bit, is a little,
Yes, yeah. He seems to play better even when everyone else is kind of stinking. But no, it was
Exactly.
again.
Efficient,
there's nothing to
typically.
even say. It's like
No.
nobody was. It wasn't. Yeah, there was no one thing to point to. It was a whole lot of everything.
Yeah.
They were really good. We were really bad.
Yeah. Took 11 more shots in the game than we did.
Yeah, there was just nothing because
And
they
they
got
were
a
shooting a
million
better
offensive
percentage.
rebounds.
Exactly. Yeah, not good.
Mm-mm.
Not good. 10 more foul shots.
I found it. I found the
Okay.
quote.
Go ahead.
Kristaps Porzingis is available for game 4 tonight, but Joe Mazzulla says, quote, he's not quite there yet, but only available for certain situations, very specific instances. What does that mean? What instance? What instance, Joe? We're down 30. That seems like quite the certain
Well,
situation.
before we got down 30, that should have been yeah.
Like what? He's not going to play the whole game. You're going to put him in for like one defensive sequence. I have no idea like what that means.
Offensive, maybe if we're down and it's a last minute shot and we need an alley-oop.
Why would you? He hasn't played all game. Why would you put him in? It doesn't make any sense at all. What is a specific instance, Joe?
Yeah. Game 7, tie game. We need an alley-oop. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. 0.3 seconds. You just need to throw it up, a tip in. I have no idea. Yeah. So it sounds like, I don't know. You got to assume he's going to be out for the rest of the series, I think.
I just hope that they bring a far better game to the Garden than this, because I can tell you right now, if the people at the Garden see them play like this again, the boos that will be coming from the crowd, I feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Well, you can't. I mean, losing this one gets ugly because then you go back to Dallas after 2 stinkers, and then if you lose that, it's game 7. Oh my God, I can't deal with that.
Can you imagine?
You gotta finish it off.
No, I 100%.
You gotta finish it off Monday.
100%.
No, this is a game 7.
Yeah.
Can we treat this mentally like a game 7, please?
You are desperate, Celtics.
Yes.
In the words of JJ Redick, you are desperate. You need to play desperate.
We need Joe Mazzulla to bring in Tiger Woods' Tiger Woods' dad used to use CIA Vietnam tricks from his friends to hypnotize Tiger and get him to only focus on the game. That's what we need. You are losing.
Yes.
This is a game set. This is an elimination game for you guys.
Right. Yeah. No, it was painful. It was very painful. And it's funny because in previous years, I remember saying to Greg for different finals, I think there's a conspiracy. They just want this to go on longer, like everybody does, for money making. You can't even say that they played so poorly. This is not a conspiracy. This wasn't a few calls.
That makes it more of a conspiracy, no?
Well, yeah, maybe it is.
Adam Silver slid a few dollars in every Celtics locker. It's like, you're gonna lose tonight. And they put in who's the ref?
Every shot.
The ref that they put in, what's his face?
Foster.
They call him the extender.
Yeah.
Extending
Was it Foster?
series. Scott Foster.
Scott Foster. Yeah.
Yep.
The extender. But yeah, it wasn't even the calls that made us. There were no. The refs really had nothing to do with this, I think.
It was rough. No.
Yes. There were just
Foster didn't even have a chance.
Several shots in the first quarter where you were like, what are they doing on defense?
Yeah.
of Luca going to the basket with no resistance
None.
whatsoever. I
Yeah.
mean,
To his right hand. You're like,
yes.
what?
Who doesn't know how to at least give him a little resistance?
Yeah.
A
That's the
foul
one
even? Just
guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy. Yeah. And same with Kyrie. I mean, he got there with very little resistance after we played
Yes.
such good defense on him. Like, what? Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we've criticized enough. They were bound to lose one, and this does happen to every team, right? During the season, you always hear
Mhm.
Nuggets are blown out by or somebody really, the Spurs or whoever,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it does happen. So let's make it an anomaly.
Yep.
Something that is not going to happen again. We come back with intensity and get this done. Because like you, if we lose this one, oh no. Because not only does our confidence go, but I think it starts to poke at their confidence, right?
Correct.
Jalen
It's just
Brown, Jason
avalanches. It's just an
Tatum. It's like,
avalanche if you keep giving
yeah,
them stuff
yeah,
to ride
yeah.
home about.
You do not want to go back to the Mavs. You do not
No.
want to go back to Dallas. You want to get it done now.
Yes, you do.
What's your prediction? An
I
optimistic
think,
prediction?
yeah, I think I think it's gonna be similar to game 3. A little close. I think third quarter. We're gonna have a good third quarter. And we're gonna bring it home Monday.
And
I,
I think it's
I can't even
about
think of any other
tiring Kyrie
outcomes.
and
We're taking
Doncic
it
out.
home
And
Monday.
I would take the points of the other one, the other players, but I think you got to wear Kyrie and Doncic out. You gotta play good D on them, wear them down, and then thrive in the fourth quarter. It's really what's good. And hopefully when we come back, we start shooting lights out. we really haven't had that kind of game for the most part where everybody's shooting lights out. We really haven't
Yep.
in a long time. So we're due. We're due.
We do.
All those threes that we hit in the regular season, we really haven't had that this series, right? I don't think we've been lights out. I mean, a few players once in a while, but for the most part, as a team, we haven't been lights out. So that's what's going to happen this time. Everything's going to come together. All right. I got nothing else.
All righty.
Our emergency podcast last night, we were so excited. We were going to,
Monday.
podcast
Have them on
after
Monday.
the sweep. Yeah.
Monday, we're doing the emergency pod.
Sounds good.
All right. Well,
all right.
Hope to see you guys then.
Monday after the game.
Yes. But in the meantime, per usual, you can find us everywhere worldwide, all platforms at Shamrock Talk Pod, on Twitter at Shamrock Talk, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, all your usual spots will be there. And Monday, it's got to be Monday. It's got to be Monday.
I'm with you. We're gonna will it. Shamrock Talk is gonna will the win on Monday.
We have
Here
to.
we go. Yep. Intensity.
Go
Go
Celtics.